What's good, fam? How y'all doing today? If you've been following this build series, thank you for watching. This is your first time seeing this channel, welcome. Right now I'm doing a build series, currently rebuilding my '01 Lexus IS 300. I'll link it up to the corner or here or link down below. If you're reading the title right now, today is an important day because it's gonna dictate which direction and more time we have left to make big progress on this car. So before I blabber around even some more, let's get to it right now. And I apologize ahead of time. I have a little mic set up to kind of help me talk when I'm a little bit farther from the camera. Let's start the video right now. So, okay, currently this is how my garage looking. Excuse the mess. It's just stuff everywhere. The transmission, the motor, the old motor, and just parts all over. I mean, you got my headers over there. But now, if you saw the last video, we were pulling the motor from the car. I got it separated from the transmission, and we were just getting into doing compression tests on this new motor we have right now. Now, to catch you guys up, this is the new motor, and that is the old motor that I had from that car right there. Now, it's kind of in pieces, and the conclusion is that most of these valves are bent. Cylinder 5 might be messed up, so that's all we know at the moment until we take the top head off to look at everything else. A big decision to not repair this motor or fix it up, build it up. I decided to get another motor just because if I was going to replace most of the valves anyway, and that's just it would have been the same amount as this motor right here that I got. The main thing we need to check about this motor is this motor from a junkyard from a GS 300. They said that it was working before they pull it out. They have a 30-day money back guarantee. So right now we're here to test if the motor is okay. And by doing that is we're going to do a compression test. To do this test in this condition, of course we need the motor. I've added oil in there, a starter. Well, I'm using the OEM. For this situation, I have the old harness for the starter here, so I can pull it on the battery. Of course, a new battery or very charged battery. I have jumper cables, and then I have my makeshift little wire thing right here. And this is kind of important because for this starter, it has a plug for the ignition to send a signal for it to start up. So once you have hooked everything, you're gonna kind of use this to tap to basically send a signal for it to start. Now, and then the next important thing is compression tester. You can buy this or you can go to your local hardware store and rent it out. I got this at O'Reilly's. It's literally this, and then it comes with a little adapter too for different motors. For mine, this one fits. All the spark plugs, which I already did, put this in each cylinder, wire it up, jump it, let it crank. I usually try to do it like 6 times or something like that, and then you can kind of read the pressure here. So I'm gonna set up everything right now, and then I'll get the camera back closer in while I, hook this up. So we have the end of the compression tester. This side will go into one of the spark plugs. Like I mentioned, I've taken out all the spark plugs already. So we're gonna, and it's super simple. You literally just put it into the hole and screw it in like a regular spark plug. So right now I am gonna do it on cylinder 1. And then we'll have the head on right here. And then the side right here is where your release pressure button. So make sure that's no pressure right now. And then it's at 0. And we can start doing the test right now. We're gonna do about 6 crank, and you're gonna see the needles go up. We're aiming for around 180-ish or 180. Just around that ballpark there. That's where our goal is. So let's get to it right now. As you can see, cylinder 1, well, it's kind of sideways. It is around 180-ish, 190. So that's good right now for cylinder 1. I'm gonna change it to 2, and we're gonna do this whole process. And I'm just gonna jump cut each cylinder. Test. Compression test, cylinder 2. All right. See right here, we're about the same as cylinder 1, so we're good. On to cylinder number 3. Depressurize. Cylinder number 3. Here we go. Same thing, about the same, just a little bit over this one, but good compression, good compression. Compression test on cylinder 4. Compression test good. 5 and 6. Testing compression on cylinder 5. Cylinder 5, same thing, pretty consistent, above 180, so we're looking good so far. Last one. This is the last one right now. We are going to do cylinder 6. Hopefully everything will be good for this one too. And look at that, about 180-ish, 190. Same thing, all 6-cylinder consistent. So we are good to go. That means a green light for this motor. We can take stuff apart, replace certain things, and use this for the project car. On a little sound bite. So the motor went well. Next step we're gonna do is we're gonna try to put this new motor on this engine stand right here, so we can start taking stuff apart and cleaning it up. So I'm gonna have to move all this, well, move all this stuff out the way so I can get room for that, to put this on the engine stand. Just wanna say, this is my first time doing all of this, so please be patient with me, and I know I'm gonna do stuff wrong, but it is what it is, okay? We're good. Is this sketchy? Yes, it is. Doing it by yourself, even more sketchy? Yes, it is. If you ask me, have I ever mounted an engine to an engine stand before? No. You're about to find out? Yes. So, I just realized this motor, the oil sump bottom part, there's a big chunk of it missing. So that's a big no-no. That's unfortunate. But the right side, I still have my old one that I can probably swap to this one. And I need to redo the seals anyway, so kind of, you know, I guess work out, oh no. So after 3 trips to Home Depot, I finally got the right bolts for the mount. The first time I got it was too long, second time I got it too short, but now I got the perfect one right here. This is a M12 by 1.25 thread, and in this one, for my particular jack stand, it's 90 millimeters, so it'll be enough to put on all the way flush and enough with spacers on. So gonna slowly try to get close to it as much as I can. I am not bolting to the lower part where the oil sump or oil pan is, or oil sump, just because I don't know if I show you guys, it's a little chunk missing that I didn't realize. That when I got it, wasn't really thinking, but it's okay because I still have my old oil sump from my old motor, which is fine. I'm just gonna swap it out since I have to take this off anyway to redo the seals for the oil. I mean the seal. It happens, but that will just me not being careful. I'm not gonna put it on fully yet, just because I still want to be able to adjust how I'm gonna position everything. I can try to slowly release this to see if this will hold. Yeah. I mean, it's holding. It's very sketchy though, but just like that, motor is on the engine stand. I'm probably still going to have this up here for now, just precaution wise, because like I said, it's my first time doing all this. And from basically it's this much stud holding the motor. So I know a lot of people do it, it just cautious me. So that we got the engine on the engine stand already, what we're gonna do is, you probably can't see, let me show y'all in a little bit, but I'm assuming this motor's been sitting outside, or when it was pulled out, it just had stuff on top of it. And then good thing is there was spark plug still in there, but the top on the valve cover and stuff like that is very like crusty, oil and just like debris everywhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a vacuum, I'm gonna suck it all up, clean it so nothing will kind of go into the motor. And I'm gonna get some paper towels and close up the holes just in case, you know. So, and then after that, we're gonna slowly start taking stuff that I don't need off of this motor. This is kind of, if you can see what I mean by there's just like gunk all over. So I'm gonna try to vacuum it out. You probably see there. Vacuum it out and then clean it up. And then we're gonna take most of the stuff that I don't need off of this. Like, I mean, they cut the wire harness here, you know, holes and stuff like that. So I don't really need basically the wire harness for this will be coming off. It's just certain things I don't need. I have a new water pump. I will reuse the one from my old motor for this one, and we have changes this part, but mainly this top part, like the wire harness and stuff, will come off. A lot better, especially most of the debris was like in this area. I think it had like pieces of plastic or the looms from the wiring, but overall, like I said, a lot better. There's still debris inside, which I can't get in with the small, big face hose. So just for now, I'm gonna put towels here just to cover, so it's nothing we can go in there. Towels here. Things that can go. Here. And then this right here. Almost there. I got that side. I still have this side here. Man, plugs are so old that it's just like crumbling when I try to pinch it out. Right, I have I just have a couple more left. This here. Essentially, this is it. Well, I have that. That. Yeah. So now it can. So now I can come off. I just gotta wiggle all of this out. Oh, never mind. I got one more ground here. Two. So I have that out. What is holding this on? All these wires or loom are just like crumbling when I. That's it. Just like that.